This is a lot better. We are given 985 results, so this is really good. Hey everybody, it's Brian here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing great. So at the time of recording this particular episode, we are just basically a few days away from Christmas. And as a result, the fourth quarter is soon coming to an end. And for many of us in the print-on-demand industry, a pertinent question comes to mind. What next? What are we going to do with respect to our shops, given the fact that the busiest time of the year is coming to a close? What's going to happen in January, February, and thereafter? And in today's episode, I'm going to be sharing with you a few thoughts with respect to design ideas that you could actually start now to consider for the month of January. And hopefully in considering and learning about how I go about sharing these thoughts, these design ideas with you, you can then incorporate them into creating designs for February, March, and then beyond, obviously increasing the size of your artistic portfolio on your respective print-on-demand shop and hopefully reach more success. So if you're curious about how I go about coming up with ideas and looking for ways to come up with innovative design ideas to share with my customers, smash that like button in appreciation, and let's head over to my computer so that I can show you how. Okay, so welcome to my computer screen, and before I actually even jump onto any platform or any website whatsoever, the first thing that I usually do is I open up a spreadsheet. Could be an Excel, could be a Google Doc sheet, really doesn't matter. It could be any kind of resource that can help you type and just basically get your thoughts down onto paper. And what I normally do is, before I actually research, I come up with 5 titles that are going to help me to focus in terms of building up words related to those titles to help me in my research and to help me come up with some interesting long-tail keyword phrases, to help me find those long-tail keyword phrases that have some results but not an excessive amount of results, so that if I design for it, then obviously my designs are going to stand a better chance of being seen by potential customers and hopefully make more sales. So what I normally do is I just tend to focus on the following 5 words. And the first title is going to be person. The second one is adjectives. Many of you know adjectives are describing words. We have locations, occupation, and the last one being hobbies or hobbies. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fill in a number of keywords under each of these headings, just to get the creative juices flowing. I'm not going to make it an extensive list because obviously that would make this video far too long. But in writing a few under each, I'm sure you'll get the hang of what it is, or rather the idea of what it is that I'm obviously explaining about. And then we're going to use these keywords, let's call them keywords, to help create long tail keyword phrases and search for them on platforms like Redbubble in order to see what kind of results, and in order to see whether or not it's viable to actually create designs for those and try to, get into something that's going to give us some great return. Okay, so in terms of person, I mean, again, this is a very broad term, but you could have, for example, designations in the family. You could have mom, dad, brother, spell it correctly, Brian, okay, sister, uncle, and even aunt, okay? That's just in the broad term. And again, you can actually modify the words for different spellings. So, you've got the American version, the Canadian and British version of spelling mom, or mum, M-U-M. Again, you can go to town with creating whatever list that you feel is going to help you. And again, the list for each of these headings can be any length that you would want. And again, you can continue building upon it. And what I would definitely recommend that you do is that once you compile this list, don't delete it, save it, and it's something you can build upon as you are obviously doing more research, in the days, weeks, and months ahead. And this could be an actual go-to resource that you could open up on your computer screen when you're sitting down thinking about what it is that you're going to design and who you're going to be designing for. Now, in terms of adjectives, again, a very broad heading to be sure, but you could do things like tall. So we're obviously describing, the body shape of a person. Somebody could be short. It could also refer to coffee, for example, a tall coffee, a short coffee. Delicious, sweet, dark, light. Again, these are just words that obviously came off the top of my head right now. In terms of locations, we can go as broad as a country and really niche down to the name of a particular city, town, or village. So we got country, state or province, obviously state in America, province in Canada, city, town, and village. And again, you can go ahead and build up a list of your favorite cities, towns, or villages that maybe you have actually visited, or ones that you think are very popular. You could Google this. You could obviously go into a search engine and type what are the most popular towns, what are the most popular cities, what are the largest cities by, you know, population size. I mean, you could just really go to town with coming up with an effective list for these. And again, it's a resource that you're going to be using down the road. Now, in terms of occupation, again, another broad heading. The idea here is to obviously start focusing our attention on, you know, sub niches. So we could say we've got accountant, teacher, pilot, nurse, librarian, okay? Again, the list could be on and on. I'm not going to continue going because I don't want this video to be very long. And then obviously in terms of hobbies, we could have a hiker, rock climber, photographer, let's type in photographer, gardener, somebody who does or enjoys yoga, for example, someone who enjoys watching movies, you know, going to the cinema, going to the movie theater. So here in a span of what, maybe 3 to 4 minutes, we came up with a really good list that we can utilize in terms of choosing various topics to design for and be using these keywords to niche down, okay? Because understandably, given the fact, and again, this is basically for those of you who are still new to the print-on-demand industry and are getting used to this whole game that we're playing. It's not enough to come up with just, you know, a broad generic title, say for example, coffee, or I don't know, rock climbing. Because given the number of years the print-on-demand industry has already been in existence, those particular keywords are oversaturated. And the idea of you getting into designing just for those particular keywords and competing against millions upon millions of other designs, well, the likelihood of you tapping into that and making some kind of sales is going to be negligible at best. So you want to put yourself into a level, a playing field where you're going to at least have a fighting chance of making sales. And the best way of doing that is by taking a niche and then sub-niching it, you know, niching down onto that so that obviously you can find your designs in a playing field where, you know, it's 1,000 results or less. If you've been following my channel for some time now, you know that I always like to come up with design ideas where the results are going to be under 1,000. I don't want results that are just 1, 2, or 3 because that means there's really very little, if any, interest in that, and I would be wasting my time. But anything, say 25 and up, leading up to and including 1,000 is all fair game, and it's a good possibility that with the right marketing, you might actually be able to tap into that particular keyword phrase, long tail keyword phrase, and you know, get some customers over to your shop to make a sale. So now that we have this list, we want to see, all right, what are we going to be designing for? What topic, what niche are we going to utilize these particular keywords in order to try and come up with some design ideas? Well, given the fact that I told you at the beginning of this video that we're going to be designing for the month of January, and also given the fact that at the time of publishing this video, it's relatively the middle of December, I want to make sure that I'm going to be choosing dates, or rather I want to make sure that I'm choosing niches where people who are going to buy them, customers who are going to buy them, are going to have enough time to discover the design through the marketing that I employ, be able to buy it, and obviously have enough time to receive that particular item, whatever it is that they've ordered with my design, in time to wear it for a particular date. Okay, so what I did was I went ahead and I found 5 dates in the month of January that have something special pertaining to that particular day, but it's far enough in January to give me enough time within the span of this week to create something, upload it accordingly, market it, and still give customers enough time to be able to purchase and get it in time. Okay, so let me just share with you these 5 dates in the month of January. Again, you're more than welcome to design for them if you so feel the need to. There's no secret here. I want to share whatever knowledge that I have with you, so that obviously if you are reaching success, you know, that's good. That makes me feel good, because obviously when you comment back and tell me, you know, I utilize or I put something into practice that you stated on your channel and it worked and I'm making sales, for me, that's, you know, all the things that I need. Because as I've stated before in the past, the internet, the print-on-demand industry is so huge you're not gaining anything by saying, oh, I've got these particular types of niche ideas which I'm going to be keeping to myself because I want all the glory and I want all of the sales for that. There are millions upon millions upon millions of people out there. People who are utilizing platforms like Redbubble and TeePublic and Zazzle and Society6 and Spreadshirt and so many other print-on-demand platforms that, me sharing a few topics which you could literally Google yourself on, on a search engine and find them yourself. I'm just trying to help you get from A to Z without having to have to go through the entire alphabet. Okay, so let's head over to the first one. Okay, so the events that I'm going to be discussing with you today that I already went ahead and researched can also be considered to be evergreen events. That means that they are good year in, year out, and while they may have a specific day that people tend to focus on more so than other days, they are still topics, they are still events that people can effectively wear throughout the entire year. Because as we can see here on the screen, the first one is National Gourmet Coffee Day. Coffee, as many of you know, is enjoyed the world over at all times throughout the year. So this is definitely something that you want to tap into. So let's head over to Redbubble and see what kind of results we get on Redbubble for the keywords National Gourmet Coffee Day. Okay, so here we are on Redbubble, and I already went ahead and I typed in the word gourmet coffee, and as you can see from the results, we've got 1,140 results. So not too bad. It is a little bit over the 1,000 results that I tend to use as my threshold, but 140 extra results is not going to be the end of the world. I mean, if I was looking at a traffic signal, it would probably be, flashing amber right now in terms of whether or not to delve deeper into this particular keyword phrase, or rather to design for this keyword phrase just using gourmet coffee. But then I have to ask myself, if I had to sub-niche, if I had to niche down utilizing, gourmet coffee, what kind of results would I find on Redbubble, and would they be viable enough to make me want to create designs for? So let's head over to Redbubble here. I'm going to open up another page here, and let's just type in gourmet coffee. And what does one normally associate with gourmet coffee? Gourmet coffee lover. So let's just type somebody who loves to drink gourmet coffee, and hitting enter, Redbubble comes back with 341 results, which is a lot better than 1,140 results, and definitely makes me want to obviously consider creating designs for it, because the playing field that I would be having my design trying to contend with is a lot better, and it's going to give me a better chance of being seen by potential customers should they type in gourmet coffee lover as one of their keyword phrases to search for. So I'd open up a spreadsheet or I'd open up a Word document and type that on and move on. You want to do this exercise, spend maybe about 15, 20, 25 minutes, not more than that, so it doesn't become cumbersome. And you want to try and find those keywords that are going to give you the energy and drive to really want to obviously create a design for. Because remember, creating a design that you have drive and ambition for means that you're going to put a lot more energy and a lot more effort to make it the best it can possibly be. And customers will be able to tell which designs a seller has put in effort into and which designs a seller has just, basically done something just off the cuff in hopes of making a quick sale. Never count your customers out. They are very perceptive, they are very wise, they know what they want, and they're not going to open up their wallet just for basically rubbish. Okay, so another keyword phrase that we could do, let's remove the word lover out there, and now I'm going to put a keyword at the beginning. And if you remember from the list, one of the adjectives that I typed in was delicious. So let's see what kind of effect it has. So delicious gourmet coffee. So we're going to hit enter, and Redbubble comes back with 259 results. So that's even a lot better than 341. So I definitely type in this keyword phrase and obviously utilize and give thought to whether or not I'm going to be designing for that once I'm done with my research. Okay, so the second evergreen topic that we can design for pertains to National Popcorn Day. And again, as I stated with coffee, popcorn is enjoyed the world over, whether it's at Halloween, with a nice popcorn ball, or maybe people are stringing popcorn on strings to decorate around the house during the holiday season of Christmas or whatnot, or simply just to be enjoyed when they go watch a movie at the theater. Popcorn is something which is global. There are millions upon millions of people who enjoy it, and this is definitely a demographic that you want to consider tapping into, because with a bit of sub-niching, you could really do well with that. Okay, so now here we are on the second of the 5 events, and this one is Popcorn Day. And as you can see, there are 2026 results for Popcorn Day currently on Redbubble. Now, this is a lot more than 1,140 for the previous keyword phrase, but again, let's sub-niche down and see what we can come up with. Okay, so let's go back to our Redbubble page that we were using to search on, and let's type in popcorn loving mom. Okay, now I know I'm deviating from Popcorn Day, but I'm still utilizing the word popcorn to try and help me find some really interesting keyword phrases to consider. So popcorn loving mom, we have 19 results here. So this one, I think I would probably be putting a red light on, or at least a very strong amber light, because there isn't a lot of action for this. And with 19 results, it could be an emerging design, or it could be a dud where nobody's actually searching for that. I just don't know at this stage of the game. So maybe what I would do is I would type out the keyword phrase on a separate page with the results, with the date that I found this particular keyword phrase, and then maybe come back and visit it in a week, 2 weeks, maybe even a month or two, just to see if there's been any more development, any more action. If there is, then yeah, I would probably consider designing for it. If not, then I would just leave it by the wayside and move on. Okay, that's the nature of the game. Not every keyword phrase that you find or research for is going to be a hit. There will be a lot of misses, but when you find a hit, it's going to be a real good one. So keep that in mind too as well when you're creating your designs. Okay, the third event that we're going to be looking at today pertains to National Cheesy Socks Day. Now, Cheesy Socks Day can have a very broad term, all right? It can actually mean, socks which are mismatched, socks that are of a particular niche that are really outlandish, really bold in colors. As you can see here on the screen, they could be woolen socks, but obviously from a print-on-demand perspective, we want to create designs that can be housed on socks that are going to be weird and wacky. So let's head over to Redbubble now and see what kind of results we get for this keyword phrase. Okay, so here we are now on the third event that we are discussing, and it pertains to obviously cheesy socks. So we're just going to type in cheesy socks here and see what comes up. As we can see here, cheesy socks comes back with 8,834 results. And Redbubble here has basically taken me literally, because it seems that the first 10 designs, and I have a feeling that there are more down below, are focusing solely on, cheese as the topic, as opposed to cheesy being, different types of weird socks, mismatched and whatnot. But then again, that's okay. We can actually try and sub-niche on this keyword phrase and see what we can get. We can actually just utilize the word socks and try to use different words from our list to see if we can come up with some interesting keyword phrases that we can design for. So let's do that. Let's head over to our Redbubble search page that we're utilizing. And what we're going to do is we're going to use a location. Let's try Toronto. We'll try an occupation, say nurse, and then we'll just type in the word socks and see what we get. Okay, and as you can see here, Toronto nurse socks came back with 25 results. So in this particular case, again, I'm still uncertain whether or not I would actually design for this or just maybe put it on the back burner list and then come back to it and see it later. It could be an emerging keyword phrase. I just don't know right now. So again, I'm just going to put that into another folder and then revisit it down the road. All right, so let's just get rid of socks over here and let's just change again. Now we'll head over to the States here. So we'll type in Boston gardener for gardening and socks as well, and we'll see what we get back. Again, we got 21 results here. These ones look a little bit more involved. It looks like we've got some interesting pictures onto the socks, so they could be a little bit cheesy in that respect too as well. So it might be something that I want to delve into. Again, I'm going to put this in my potential design list, even though it's less than the 25, and see obviously if I can come up with something interesting for that. So again, that's just how you go with respect to researching and coming up with, interesting keyword phrases to actually create designs for. Okay, the third event that we can potentially design for falls on the 24th of January in 2023. Again, but it always occurs in January, and that's National Peanut Butter Day. Now, National Peanut Butter Day, whether you're scooping it on a spoon or whether it's mixed in a cookie or it's one of the ingredients of a candy bar, there are thousands upon thousands of people out there who love peanut butter, whether it's the crunchy kind or the smooth kind or the low-fat kind or maybe the simulated kind if they have a nut allergy. Peanut butter is definitely a staple that people absolutely love. And again, it's another demographic that you can tap into to attract more customers to your shop and obviously make more sales. So let's head over to Redbubble and see what kind of results we get for this particular keyword phrase. And Peanut Butter Day here, this is a lot better. We are given 985 results at the time of recording this particular episode. So this is really, really good. Again, because it shows me that there's a lot of attention on this keyword phrase. There are a number of sellers who delved in and actually committed us enough time to create designs. So obviously, if they're creating designs and this is a number which is growing, then that means that there could be customers who are searching for this particular keyword phrase to have for designs on shirts, socks, mugs, and what have you. So I'm definitely going to want to actually key this particular keyword phrase on my list, but let's also sub-niche it down a little bit and see what we get to as well. So let's head back over to the Redbubble page we're using to obviously search, and we'll clear off socks here, and we're going to type in peanut butter, and let's type in a person from the person list. Let's type in brother and see what we get. So peanut butter brother, well, we don't want socks, okay, has 187 results. That's actually pretty good too as well. It's giving my potential design a better playing field to contend against other designs. My design will have a better chance of being seen as opposed to 981, 1,000, 8,000, and so on and so forth. So I'm definitely gonna key this down to as well. Let's try an occupation. Let's try teacher. All right, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches were a staple diet for a number of teachers in my day. Okay, so we've got 65 results, which is quite good too as well. We've got some nice designs here. We've got some that obviously we could potentially improve upon. This one, I'm not certain that I like. It looks just like a blob of things. No disrespect to the seller, but obviously if I were designing for something like this, I would see this and obviously try to improve upon it so that customers coming to Redbubble, seeing this, using this particular keyword phrase, hopefully we'll see my design and it will look a lot better than the one that we're seeing over here on the screen now. So definitely I want to obviously keep that keyword phrase as reference. Okay, and the last event that we are going to be talking about in today's video this coming year falls on Saturday, January 28th, and it pertains to National Blueberry Pancake Day, all right? This delicious breakfast dish enjoyed by millions upon millions all across the globe is definitely an idea that you should consider focusing on. Let's take a look at some of the results on Redbubble. And as you can see here, there are only 104 results. So as a main keyword phrase for a particular event, it's a really good number to actually dip your fingers and toes into the designing pot and come up with something really interesting, okay? Because it could be an emerging keyword phrase that people are going to start looking for, not necessarily only as the event gets closer in January, but, thereafter for people who enjoy eating blueberry pancakes or pancakes for that matter. If you obviously market that and head over to your social media accounts and start targeting keywords and phrases and groups and what have you and hashtags pertaining to Blueberry Pancake Day, and you start driving traffic to your shop and show them your designs that you've invested your hard time creating, your blood, sweat, and tears to give them something amazing to look at, to consider purchasing on a shirt, on a hoodie, or what have you, then this could definitely be a keyword phrase that you might want to continue designing for. And remember, as I stated earlier in this video, these are all evergreen. It doesn't necessarily mean that just because they have low numbers now that they cannot increase and gain more attention down the road. You want to make sure that you're getting your designs early enough when the number of results are low so that as it starts to grow and as you start making sales, the more and more sellers who come in and start creating designs for these particular keyword phrases, they're going to be ranked at the bottom. Why? Because if you've gotten in this early enough and people start buying your designs, Redbubble and indeed any and all of the platforms are going to give more weight to your designs and rank them higher because they know that your designs have made them money. It's made you money, but more importantly, it's made them money, and they want to continue making money. So your designs are going to rank higher until such time as somebody else comes in with some really amazing designs, if any will exist, and knock your design off from the top position. But again, you just never know. You always want to make sure that you're creating some amazing designs, and if you see something that is starting to pick up, then jump in and double down and create more designs for that, so that obviously you will rank higher for those two as well, because that's where the money is. That is where people are spending their cold hard cash to get designs on amazing products so that they can actually utilize them in their wardrobe when they're going out and about. And you'll be happy because obviously you'll be getting those "you've made a sale" emails in your inbox, and obviously that will definitely put a smile on your face. So I certainly hope that what I've explained to you today has shed a little bit of light on what it is that you should be doing here and now, even though we are currently still in the fourth quarter. The idea of creating Christmas designs now, that's basically, that time has passed. Because the notion of customers actually getting their designs in time for Christmas, maybe you might get away with some New Year's designs, but at least from my perspective, my point of view, I really can't say that I've had more success selling New Year's designs than I have selling Christmas designs. So in that respect, I might put a few up if I had the time. But right now, I want to start doubling down on the coming new year. I want to start getting some new designs up going so that when the year turns to 2023, and again, when it turns to 2024, depending on whenever it is that you're watching this particular video, you want to get into some keyword phrases with low results so that you can start ranking higher, and hopefully throughout the year and thereafter, you make more sales. So if you like this video, please do me a favor, as I stated earlier in the video, smash that like button in appreciation. If you're new to this channel or not have yet subscribed to it, please smash that subscribe button now and turn on the bell notification icon. Help me to reach 3,000 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. I'm really, really close, and with your help, I know that I can reach it. But for today, that's all I've got. And as always, be safe, be well, be creative. Bye for now. Hey, thanks again for watching this video. I really appreciate each and every one of you taking the time to do so. If you are interested in taking your print-on-demand business to the next level and learning how to generate more sales, please consider clicking on one of the 2 video thumbnails that have appeared on your screen now. I'll see you there. Thanks again.